This bike hasn't been on the road in over 4 years, and I haven't ridden in over 10. Today on More Than Metal, we're going from 4 wheels to 2. But first, we gotta get it running. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'll be completely honest, this isn't the way I thought this video was gonna go. I had a picture of just jumping on this thing, heading down the highway, tell you the story of how this is my dad's bike and what it meant to him, what it means to our family. But like everything else in this shop, she ain't running. She needs a little work. So we topped up our master cylinders, put a new battery in it. But now our carb's pretty gummed up. So I'm going to have to run to the city and grab a kit for that. Still planning on telling you the story of this. So hopefully this doesn't take too long. And I still got some time to tell you what it's all about. So Harley uses these CV carbs. They're pretty similar to what you'd find on like a snowmobile or like any other Japanese bike quads. They have this slide that works on vacuum. This goes up and down with this diaphragm, and that's what controls our main air fuel mixture. I think that's where our problem is, but I'm going to take everything apart, and since we got it off, we might as well do the whole thing. So 2003, there was kind of a lot going on. My grandmother passed away that year, my dad's mom, and I graduated that year. My sister was getting ready to graduate, and my dad bought himself this. It's a 2003 Softail Standard, which the Standard is your base model in the Softail family. I mean, now they got every different color is a different model. So I don't even really pay much attention to the new ones. But back then you had the Standard. You might have still had the Custom, the Fat Boy, and the Heritage, and the Springer, and that was kind of the bulk of what you had. So this one was the Standard, so the first one in that line. And ooh, that's stuck. And yeah, it didn't even get the chance to leave the dealership before Dad started throwing stuff at it. I know he changed the pipes right away. So he's got Vance and Hines big shots on it. And then I'm pretty sure when they asked if he wanted any accessories, he just kind of walked over to the wall of chrome and just said, "Yep," because every nut and bolt is chrome on that bike. There's even chrome covers on the spark plugs so that you don't see the base of the spark plug. Like that was probably $40 for those. Like and who notices it other than the mechanic changing your plugs? Because this is actually one of the things that he never did anything on his own on this bike. It was always to the dealership. So he's probably not happy with me right now trying to get this thing going again. So I finished cleaning up the carb and I actually shut the camera off for a bit. It was a bit of a pain in the butt, and I was saying some words that small ears shouldn't hear. And Miss Georgia, I know you're listening. But also, it kind of hit me working on this bike. This thing meant a lot to my dad. And the last time I heard this thing run, he was kind of a different guy. you know, it's pretty tough seeing what diseases can do to people. And without getting too down and out, you know, this is kind of what this channel is about. It's about these machines and what they mean to people, and what memories they hold, what feelings they have. And if you guys out there have something you'd like to share with me, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And if it is at all geographically possible, you know, maybe we can share your story too. You know, if you like stories like this, kind of the tale behind the machinery, make sure you're subscribed. Come along and hear what we got to say. But I think we're ready to try this thing out and see what it sounds like after 4 years. Dad had other bikes before, Triumphs and BSAs and stuff like that. And as cool as those bikes are in their own right, it was always a Harley. He always wanted the Harley, and it was always out of reach for him. He could never afford it. This is back when he was a young guy growing up. But as soon as me and my sister came along, you know, the bikes got sold. Other than some parts and pieces laying around, they were all gone. So when he got this, like, I don't think it was a midlife crisis. I think Dad kind of got some of his freedom back, and he lived that Harley life. He was, anytime he wasn't working, he was on that bike. Like, he would jump on it Friday, and you wouldn't see him till Sunday. Well, honestly, what's broken here? Oh, well. Oh man, this thing's all kind of broken. She's bleeding. This is an absolutely ridiculous solution to this problem, but it's a solution nonetheless. There it is. It's like the cleanest oil I've ever changed. This one was his main bike for, oh, probably 6 years. And like, I mean, up in Canada, if you're lucky, you get a 4-month riding season. And it was nothing for him to put 10,000 miles, 15,000 miles on in a season. But it took him a couple years, but he finally convinced Mom to get on with him, because she said she was never getting on a bike. When she was young, she got in a accident with a guy and she was never getting back on one. But he finally convinced her to get on. And they rode a couple years on this one. They went down to Sturgis and
Man, that's a lot of chrome.
all over Western Canada. And then in 2009, he finally bought a big bike. He finally bought a Ultra Classic. So Mom had a little more comfortable spot to sit for those long rides. So this was kind of like his tooling around bike. That's when it got the Springer front end. The new headlight got lowered. He just kind of played with it a little bit more. It was his showing off bike. Good enough for now. Let's go put some wind on it. So that's when too, like when he had this one sitting in the shop, if my bike was busted or I was between bikes, like he'd let me jump on this just so we could go riding together. Man, we put a lot of miles on together. He was my main riding partner. Like most guys get their own crew that they're going out with. I was usually going out with my dad and my buddy TP, and that was usually it, the three of us. Up to Red Deer, Flin Flon, which is northern Saskatchewan, way northern Saskatchewan, everywhere. And it took a couple miles to take that old gas out of it, but she's running like an absolute top right now. I can't believe it's been 10 years since I've been on a bike, but actually I can. I was pretty shaky the first couple corners, but man, it feels good to be back on it. I even rode this bike on my wedding day. Me and my new wife rode this bike away from our ceremony. Made for some pretty killer pictures. Honestly, I think it was the bikes that probably sealed the deal with her too. I don't know if she'll ever admit it, but I think that's probably true. Losing someone sucks. And grief is a pretty weird thing to deal with. Most days you feel like you're moving forward and everything is good. And then all of a sudden something hits you and you just go right back to square one. It's kind of a special thing to look after something that a person you love cared for. Whether it's a car or a bike or even a watch. And I'm pretty blessed that I got a garage full of those things. The only downside is, you can't hold on to everything. My dad raised me to be a good family man. And my kids and my wife and my mom, they're always gonna come first. And I know he's there watching over them. But I feel closest to him when I'm in the garage. Man, I miss him sometimes. Whether I'm stuck on something and just want his opinion, or watching a build come together, or even finding an ad on Marketplace and making a plan to go drag something out of the bush. It's loneliest at the highs and the lows. I know I'm going to see him again one day, but until then, when I'm behind the wheel or in the saddle or on the tools, I know he's with me because he loved this stuff way too much to just leave it behind. That's about it for this one, guys, and I am stoked that I could bring this one to you. I really enjoyed telling my dad's story on this one and having a reason to get back on this thing. You know, and I said in a previous video, this thing was up for sale, just because it was, you know, tough to have in the shop, but man, getting back on it, it's wild, but sooner or later we're gonna have to like cut some emotional ties, but I don't know, we'll see. Stick around, check out some of our other videos we got, and yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Till next time.